Hello children. So today you are going to start the fourth unit of your biology subject. The title of the unit is Cell, the unit of life. So in this unit we will be discussing about what is cell, what is prokaryotic cell, its structure, and what are the different organelles of a cell, and all these things we are going to discuss in this class. So let us start the session now.
What is cell? Before going into the unit, we should be sure about what is cell. So cell is nothing but it is the basic structural and functional unit of life, and all the living things are made up of the cells only. If anything has cells inside it, it is called as a living thing. If no cell is present, then it is not a living thing, it is a non-living thing. So this is the basic foundation of cell. So now let us move into the lesson. So first, what is a cell? What is a cell? It is the fundamental, structural and fundamental unit of life. It is the fundamental, structural and functional unit of life, both for the external appearance of the cell and for the internal structural development. For everything, for the development of each and every inch of the living body, the cell is needed. All are responsible because of the cells only. So it is the fundamental, structural and functional unit of life. And who the cell is there? Who first discovered it? Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek. So he was the first person to discover a living cell, a live cell. He was the first to invent the cell. And Robert Brown. Robert Brown was the one who discovered the nucleus. So Robert Brown, he was the one who first discovered the nucleus. So all these cells, how did they discover? We cannot see the cell through the naked eye. How they would have seen the cell? Through microscope, through some lenses, they would have magnified something, and from that they would have seen some new structures, and they gave a name called cell. So likewise, after further researches and many years, Robert Brown, he discovered nucleus. So nucleus only is the control center of the cell. It is responsible for all the activities. So such things and all was discovered by Robert Brown. By the invention of microscope only, all these discoveries were born. Okay. So coming to the cells. So as I already told you, all the living things are made up of cells only. And based on the number of cells, all the organisms are classified into two major types. One is unicellular organism and the other is multicellular organism. So what is unicellular organism? Uni. From the word itself we can tell uni means one. So one celled organism is called as unicellular organism. So where can we find this unicellular organism? They are very, very small. Only one cell is there. No, so they are very, very small, and they are not visible to a naked eye. Only under the microscope we can see all these organisms. For example, amoeba, paramecium, euglena. So these are some of the structures that are coming under unicellular organism. That is, only one cell will be present. Next is multicellular organism. So what is multicellular organism? Multi, from the word itself we can tell many. Many celled organism are called as multicellular organism. It is just the opposite of unicellular organism. Many cells will be present, so it is called as multicellular organism. So Example, we are just an example. We have trillions of cells in our body. In the last unit itself, you would have learned the human body is made up of trillions of cells, not one cell or two cells. We are made up of trillions of cells. So we are an example for multi. We have many cells in our body. Okay, let us take an example. Is it a unicellular or multicellular organism? It is a multicellular organism because that also has many functions inside it. For that, it will need many number of cells. So that is also a multicellular organism. So all the living things that we see around, those which are huge organisms, they are all called as multicellular organisms only. So this is all about cells, an introduction of the cell. Okay. Now we know what is the cell, what are the different types of cells. Next is we are going into a theory, a cell theory. Let us see what they have given in that. Schleiden and Schwann in 1839. They were the first person to discover a cell theory. After the discovery of living cell and the nucleus, Schleiden and Schwann, what they did, they formulated a cell theory. But in that cell theory, what was the defect is, where did these cells form? We were talking about cells. First, where did it form? How was it formed? So that question was not answered by their Schleiden and Schwann's theory. So what happened? Rudolf Virchow. So Rudolf Virchow in 1855. What he did? He took the theory of Schleiden and Schwann and he modified it. So the theory that was modified by Rudolf Virchow gave an answer to how these cells were formed. So how did the cells form? Is from already pre-existing cells. From that only a new cell was formed. A cell will be already pre-existing cell will be there. It will divide into 2 or 4 parts and that will give rise to another 4 nuclei and another new 4 cells. So this was the order. The cells were formed from pre-existing, already existing cells. They reproduce or by fission process, they divide into 2 and new cells were formed. So like this only, these cells were formed. So this was the answer for the formation of cells. It was given by Rudolf Virchow. So the cell theory was modified by Rudolf Virchow, but Schleiden and Schwann were the only first person who brought about the cell theory. So what was the cell theory is cells and products of cells. So a cell is there and its products means the products is the tissues, organ system. These are all made by cells. So they explain about what is cells and what are the products of cells. So in unit 1 itself you have learned about cells, tissues, organ system, organism. These are all products of cells only. So they explained about what is a cell and the products of cell. So the second point was modified by who? Rudolf Virchow. The pre-existing cell. So the cell was formed by already existing cell. The already existing cell, what they do? They divide to form new cells. So from all pre-existing cells, the cells were formed. So this was the theory about the cells, the cell theory.
Anton van Leeuwenhoek. In 1673, Leeuwenhoek, he was a Dutch microscope maker and he was the first one to view all the living organisms. So he used a very simple and handheld microscope. You can see the picture of microscope on the image. So what he did is he collected some pond water and viewed it under the microscope to see the microscopic organisms, and also he took the deposits, scrapings of the teeth, and viewed it under the microscope to see all the micro germs and the microorganisms that are there on the teeth. So from this he was the first one to identify the living organism under a microscope, and later on only studies were made about the cell, its theory and all the organelles of the cell.
And next we are going on to prokaryotic cell. What is it? Prokaryotic cell. So bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, PPLO. So these are all some of the prokaryotic cells. So these are all prokaryotic cells example. So what is this prokaryotic cell? So I will explain you now. These prokaryotic cells, they do not have a well-developed cell organelles. So what is cell organelles? We were talking about cells, right? So the cell is there, a nucleus will be present, a mitochondria will be present, an endoplasmic reticulum. So these are all the cell organelles. So each of these cell organelles, they have a specific function. For example, take a whole body as an example. So we are one cell. The eyes is there to see, the nose is there to smell, the legs are there to move. So like that we have different organs to do various functions. Likewise, the cells also have different organelles. They are not called organs, they are called organelles. So they have different organelles to perform specific functions. But here in prokaryotic cell, what happens? They do not have that much well-defined organelles. So this nucleus is there to perform all the activities. Mitochondria for giving power, like that. The cell-bound organelles are not well developed because these prokaryotic cells are very small cells. We should not expect them to be so advanced. So they are a little bit primitive. So they are such cells are called as prokaryotic cells, or these small bacteria, the blue-green algae, mycoplasma. So they are all coming under the prokaryotic cell. So like I already told you, these prokaryotic cells, they are very small. We cannot see through the naked eye. Only under the compound microscope only it is visible. So these prokaryotic cells, they are very small, and if you see the multiplication, if you see the reproduction means, it will be very fast because it is very small size. They can multiply very fastly, very rapidly they can multiply. So they are very small and multiply rapidly, and they vary in shape and size. So each and every prokaryotic cells, they vary in the shape. Since they all come under the prokaryotic cells, it is not meant that they are to be in the same shape. They will have different shapes. They will have different special features. The size also may vary. So they vary in shape and size. So this is all about the prokaryotic cells. So now I will give you a short recap from the first. We were seeing starting the unit, second unit, the unit of life. So in that we saw what is a cell. It is the fundamental, structural and functional unit of life. And Anton Leeuwenhoek, he first found the life cell, and Robert Brown, he discovered the nucleus, and the invention of microscope made various advances in the studies of science. And we saw about unicellular and multicellular organism. And then next is cell theory. Slider and Schwann, they first in 1839 formulated the cell theory, cells were formed from already pre-existing cells. And we talked about the cells and the products of cells in the cell theory and pre-existing cells. So these 2 points are coming under the cell theory. And we saw about prokaryotic cell, bacteria, blue green algae, and mycoplasma, PPL. All these are coming under prokaryotic cell. These are all some examples. And they are very small and they multiply rapidly and they vary in shape and size. Since they all are coming under prokaryotic cell, it is not that they are all same. They vary in shape and size.
Now we are going to discuss about the structure of prokaryotic cells. So I have explained you about what is prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells means those which do not have well defined cell organelles. They are called as prokaryotic cells. So as you can see in the image, that is the structure, external structure of the prokaryotic cell. Now I am going to tell you that what are the parts that are responsible for each of these functions. So you can find the cytoplasm, the ribosomes, mesosome, DNA, plasma membrane, cell wall, capsule and bacterial flagellum. So I am going to explain the external structure now. So here in this prokaryotic cell, can you find any nucleus? No, we do not find any nucleus because it does not have a well defined nucleus. And these prokaryotes, they have a cell wall and a cell membrane, and inside a fluid matrix, a jelly like substance called cytoplasm will be present, and no well defined nucleus is there. In the center you can find a genetic material. They do not have any covering, whereas if you see eukaryotes, it is totally different. They will have a covering. Inside the nucleus, the genetic material will be present, whereas here if you see means the genetic material is naked and the nuclear membrane is not enveloped. There is no covering in the DNA. And a genomic DNA will be present. That is, the DNA will be present in circular shape. So in prokaryotes, the DNA will be in circular shape, whereas eukaryotes, it will be totally different. They will have a covering, but here DNA does not have any covering and the DNA is circular in shape. The smaller DNA, they are called as plasmids. The plasmid DNA, they give resistance to antibiotics. If it is affected by any foreign bodies, this plasmid gives antibiotics. And the nuclear membrane is found in eukaryotes only. So there is no nucleus itself, then how can we expect nuclear membrane to be present? So nuclear membrane is also present. In the center, the DNA is naked. It is present in circular shape, and the small DNAs are called plasmid, and they help in the resistance of plasmids. And no organelles like the ones in eukaryote, they are well developed. And where only the ribosomes are present in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Other organelles are not present. And the mesosome, if you see, means it is a specialized differentiated form of cell membrane called mesosome. And next is I am going to show you how to draw the structure of prokaryotic cell. So first an outer lining will be drawn, and after that a layer, the cell membrane layer. First the capsule, first you have to draw the cell wall and the capsule, and next you have to draw below a flagellum is there. Flagellum is for the movement of the cell. And after that the plasmid is drawn like this. This plasmid only is the DNA material without any covering, and a circular DNA is present. This is called as a plasmid. And next is you are drawing the mesosome, and finally the dot particles are the ribosomes for protein synthesis. And next is the flagellum, all the pili. The short hair-like structures are called pili. It is used for protein synthesis and also for movement, and the large flagellum is also used for movement. And these are all the different parts: the capsule, cell wall, plasma membrane, mesosome, nucleoid, plasmid, pili, ribosome and flagellum. These are all the structures of the prokaryotic cell. I hope you would have got an idea about how to draw the prokaryotic cell and the different parts. These are the structures of mesosome that is present on the prokaryotic cell and the rhizosome. So the function of mesosome is it has a specialized differentiated form of cell membrane. So usually in eukaryotes the cell membrane will be present, but since the cell membrane is absent, the mesosome is present. So this is one specialized feature of this prokaryotic cells, and they are essentially in folding of cell membranes. And ribosomes, as I told you, it is for the protein synthesis. So they are also present on the prokaryotic cell. This is a detailed view of the mesosome and the ribosome of the prokaryotic cell.
The next topic is about the shapes of the cells. So we were saying about what is bacteria and the structure of prokaryotic cell. How the structure will be. Now the bacteria is an example for prokaryotic cell, as you know. Before itself I told you, this bacteria, they vary in size and shape. So we will see what are those different shapes now. So shapes of bacteria, cocci. So this cocci will be in spherical shape. So this bacteria will be in spherical shape, round shape. It will be like this. The next shape is rod-like structures. So these bacteria will be rod-like structures, and they are called as bacilli. What are they called as? Bacilli. Rod-like shaped structure bacteria are called as bacilli. And next is vibrio. So these will be in the shape of comma. So the comma shaped bacteria are called as vibrio. So next is spiral. The spiral shaped bacteria are known as spirillum. What is it called as? Spirillum. So these are the major 4 shapes of bacteria. So let me repeat it. Cocci will be in spherical shape, and bacilli bacteria will be in rod-like structures, and vibrio will be in the comma-shaped structures, and spirillum will be in the shape of spiral. So these are the 4 major shapes of bacteria. Now we are moving on to the cell envelope. So cell envelope means it denotes the, what is an envelope for a letter? The outer covering of the letter is called the envelope. So likewise, cell envelope means the outer covering of the cell is called the cell envelope, and how they are modified into. So this prokaryotic cell, how the outer cell is and how they are modified into. So that we are going to see now. So cell envelope in the prokaryotes, it has a very complex chemical structure. So the outer layer is very complex chemical structure. So these prokaryotic cells, they are bounded by 3 layers. How many layers? 3 layers of, they are bounded by 3 layers. So what are those layers? The outermost glycocalyx. The outermost glycocalyx. So this outermost glycocalyx, they on the outer portion, they will have a sticky layer. It is called a slime layer. A sticky outer layer will be present, and inner hard layer will be present. So this is the layer of outermost glycocalyx. The outermost will be very slimy layer and inner hard tough layer is present. And after this glycocalyx layer, the cell wall will be present. So cell wall is the outer covering. It gives the strength to the cell. It is a outer covering. And inside the cell wall, the plasma membrane is present. The first the outer glycocalyx is present. It has two layers, a slimy layer and a hard tough layer. And below that the cell wall is present. And inside to it the plasma membrane is present. This plasma membrane, it is a semi-permeable membrane. What is a semi-permeable membrane? Semi-permeable membrane means it allows only certain substance to go in and go out. That is, it is like a security to the cell. Some foreign bodies may be there, some viruses may be there around these cells. So what this plasma membrane will do? It will detect the incoming bodies. What type of organism is it? Whether it is good to the, whether it is a food molecule or a water molecule or it is a very dangerous molecule. So it will detect that. If it is okay to the cell, only then it will allow inside. If it is not suitable to the cell, what this plasma membrane will do? They will not allow these foreign bodies to get inside. So that is called as semi-permeable. It is like a security to a school. The security is there outside and we will allow only the students to come inside, right? So likewise, this plasma membrane, it will allow only certain substance to get inside. So this is the function of plasma membrane. So the prokaryotic cell, it has a very complex chemical structure and it is divided into three layers. One is the outermost glycocalyx, second is the cell wall and third is the plasma membrane. So this outermost glycocalyx, there has two layers. One is a sticky slimy layer and an inner tough layer. The cell wall is there to give you strength, and plasma membrane, it is a semi-permeable membrane which allow only certain substance to go inside. And next is the bacteria is divided into two major parts. That is gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. So what is gram-positive bacteria? So based on the staining of the bacteria. So if you have some stains, it may be red stain or it may be any stain. So usually the red color will be containing phenolphthalein. So that stain is called phenolphthalein. So if you pour that stain and place the bacteria, gram-positive bacteria, what happens is these gram-positive bacteria, they take up stain very efficiently. Whereas if you put the gram-negative bacteria in some colors, what happens? It does not take up stain. So that is why they are divided into two different parts. The stain taking bacteria are known as gram-positive bacteria, and the bacteria that does not take up stains are called as gram-negative bacteria. So these are two types of bacteria. And next is we are moving on to the movement of the cell. So some bacteria, they may be motile or non-motile. Motile means movement. Some bacteria, they can move, but some bacteria, they do not move. Those that bacteria which can move are used. Does it have legs? Does the bacteria have cells to walk like us? No, it does not have legs. So how can it move? How can it move? Means it can move through this flagella and pili. So these are hair-like structures. In the prokaryotic cell itself, I would have told you about the flagella. So this flagella, what they do, they help in the movement of the bacteria. So that is the major function of the flagella. And pili, they are involved in the movement and for the protein production. So these are the functions of flagella and pili. Both are hair-like structures that are present outside the body, but they differ in function. Whereas pili has very short hairs, flagella has longer hairs. Next is ribosomes. The second heading is ribosomes. So we saw about the shapes, the cell envelope, and gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, and about flagellae and pili. Next is ribosomes. So these ribosomes, they are associated with the plasma membrane only. They are present along the plasma membrane only. So how these ribosomes, in what size it is 15 Newton meter to 20 Newton meter. So this ribosome will be around the size of 15 Newton meter to 20 Newton meter. And these ribosomes, they are divided into two subunits. One is large subunit and the other is small subunit. So the large subunit will be 50S, that denotes the size of the ribosome, whereas small subunit will be 30S. And when these, sometimes in some cases what happens, this large subunit and small subunit, when they are together, they may be together or they may be separate. When they are together, they will be around the size 70S. So this is all about the size of the ribosome. And what is the function of the ribosome? Why is it present? Means it is present for the protein synthesis of the body. For the protein production of the cell, these ribosomes are present. So this is all about ribosomes. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. We saw about the shapes of bacteria, that is 4 major shapes. One is spherical shape, they are known as cocci, and rod-like structures, they are known as bacilli, and comma-shaped structure, they are called as vibrio, and spiral-shaped are called as spirillum. So these are the 4 shapes of bacteria, and then we saw the cell envelope and its modification of the prokaryotic cell. So these prokaryotic cells, the outer layer will have a very complex, very complicated, very tough chemical structures. So these prokaryotes are divided into 3 layers. One is the outermost, the glycocalyx. That is, they have an outer slimy layer, and inner to it a hard layer is present, and the cell wall will be present for mechanical strength, and plasma membrane will be present. A semi-permeable plasma membrane will be present. And next is gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So those bacteria which take up stains are known as gram-positive bacteria, and those bacteria which do not take up stains are called as gram-negative bacteria, and the flagella is present for the movement of the cells. So some bacteria, they may be motile or non-motile. Motile means movement. Those moving bacteria have the presence of flagellae for movement, and pili is also for movement, and they also help in the synthesis of the protein. So these are the 2 structures and their functions. And at last we saw ribosomes. So they are mostly associated with the plasma membrane only, and the size of the ribosome will be 15 Newton meter to 20 Newton meter, and they have 2 subunits called larger subunit and smaller subunit. So the larger subunit will have 50S, and 30S is the smaller subunit size, and together they are called as 70S. And the function of the ribosome is they help in protein synthesis. So till this we will stop with the prokaryotic cells. So these are all the structures of prokaryotic cells. I will explain you about inclusions. After this ribosomes, I will explain you about inclusion bodies. And till that the prokaryotic part is over. So these are all about the prokaryotic cell.
Besides flagella, pili and fimbriae, they are also present on the structures of the bacteria. So like the flagella, there are other small hair-like structures called pili and fimbriae. But what is the difference between flagella and these structures are, they do not take part in motility. That is, in the movement of the cell, it does not takes place. It is just present as a hair-like structures, but no motility is happening in these small hair-like structures. So this pili, what it does is, it is a small tubular structures and it is made up of a special protein, but it does not takes place in the movement of the cell. Only flagella takes place in the movement of the cell. And after that, fimbriae, they are small bristle like structures. So like the toothbrush, it has small bristles like. So likewise this fimbriae, it has small bristle like fibers that will be growing over the surface of the cell. So what this in some bacteria, this fimbriae, what it does is, when any bacteria attacks it, or when the bacteria goes and it is attacked by a rock or streams, so what happens, it will protect the cell. For the protection of the cell from dashing into the rock, for all these purposes, these fimbriae are present. In bacteria, some cells may be motile, that is, they can move, and some cells are non-motile, I mean the bacterial cells. Non-motile means those that cannot move. So if they are motile, if they can move, they have small filamentous extensions from the cell, small hair-like structures over the cell wall, and it is called as flagella. So bacteria, they show a range of number and arrangement of flagella. So in different bacteria, there are many number of flagellas. So in each bacteria, the number of the flagella and the arrangement of the flagella varies. So in a bacterial flagellum, if you take, means it is divided into three parts. One is filament, hook and basal body. As you can see in the image, this is the picture of a flagellum, bacterial flagellum. It is divided into three parts: filament, hook and basal body. So the filament, it is the longest portion. So in the picture itself, you can see the filament is it is the longest portion, and it extends from the cell, from the surface of the cell to the outside. That is the longest portion of the flagellum. This is the picture of ribosomes. So hand-like structure you can see. So I already told you that there are two types of subunits. One is the large subunit and the other is the small subunit. So the large subunit is 50s and the small is 30s. When they are together, you can see in the second picture, when they are together, they are 70s. So this denotes the size of the ribosome, and as I already told you, ribosomes is for protein synthesis. Inclusion bodies. So inclusion bodies are nothing but, in this, the reserve material, after the photosynthesis or whatever the nutrient getting process has been taking place, the material that is stored in the body is known as reserve material. So in prokaryotic, it is stored as a inclusion bodies. So these inclusion bodies, they do not have membranes over them, and they lie freely on the cytoplasm. That's just on the jelly substance of the cell itself. These small granules will be present over the cell. And some of the forms of this inclusion bodies are, they may be present as phosphate granules, cyanophycine granules, and glycogen granules. So these are the different forms of inclusion bodies, that is the reserve food material of prokaryotic on the cell. Now we are going to see the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, if you see, means there is no membrane bound nucleus. So in the nucleus no membrane is present, whereas in eukaryotes it is bounded by the membrane. So prokaryotes, the cell wall it is made up of peptidoglycan. So it is a component which is made by the cell wall. So and next is, in eukaryotes, cell walls, if they are present, mostly they are not present. If they are present, it is made up of cellulose, and in fungi it is made up of chitin. And here on prokaryotes, the point is repeating, no membrane bound organelles. So in the nucleus also, in the other organelles, that is the mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and lysosome. So in all these organelles there is no membrane. But if you see here in eukaryotes, all the organelles are bound by the membrane. And prokaryotes, they have pili and fimbriae. So we have already gone through all these structures, so you know what are all these: pili, fimbriae, and flagella. All these things are present. In eukaryotes, cilia and flagella, either one of them will be present. And the prokaryotes, it is a mucilaginous capsule, that is, it is a fluidic capsule. Inside the body of the prokaryote, it is mostly water content. But here in eukaryotes, it is not mucilaginous capsule present. The cell size of prokaryotes, if you see, means it ranges from 0.5 mu meter to 100 mu meter, whereas in eukaryotes the cell size ranges from 10 to 150 mu meter. Here is another comparison in eukaryotic cell itself, that is between the animal cell and plant cell. What are the key differences? Let us have a quick go through of it. So in animal cell, the cell wall is absent. In plant cell, it is present in the form of cellulose. Animal cell is round and plant cell is rectangular. In vacuole, only one or more small vacuoles are present, whereas in plant cell large vacuole is present, that is 90% of the cell is covered by the vacuoles only. Centrioles, it is present in animal cell. Centrioles, it is only present in lower forms of plant forms. Example, Chlamydomonas. Chloroplast is absent in animal cells and chloroplast is present in plant cells to make their own food. For the process of photosynthesis, this is being used. And cytoplasm is present in plant cell and animal cell. Ribosomes also are present in both animal and plant cell. Mitochondria also present in both animal and plant cell. Plastids, it is absent in animal cell but present in plant cell. Next is endoplasmic reticulum. The both smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum are present in both animal and plant cells. Peroximose, Golgi apparatus, they both are also present in plant and animal cells. So plasma membrane, only cell membrane is present in animal cell, whereas in plasma membrane the cell wall and cell membrane both are present in plant cells. And microtubules are present in both animal and plant cell. Flagella, only in some of the animal cell flagella is present, whereas in all the plant cells the flagella is present. Lysosomes, it occurs in cytoplasm. Plant cells usually it is not present. So nucleus will be present in both animal and plant cell, and cilia is present in animal cell. In plant cell it does not contain cilia. So these are the major differences between animal cell and plant cell. I hope you would have understood all the concepts of cell, the unit of life. PDF will be given to you in your WhatsApp group or in your Alpha Intelligence app. So kindly copy those notes in your classwork note and get correction in the given date. Thank you, children.